Fictional. Hey, you know what time it is?
What time is it, man?
Welcome, everyone, to another episode of The Beatdown, the segment and channel where two worlds collide. I am your host, Clyde, and my co-host,
Mr. J. What's going on, guys? And as always, we would like to remind you, if you enjoy our comment or our videos, go in the section below. Share, like, comment, subscribe.
Yay, yeah. And
in honor of spooky season, this is our Halloween edition segment.
So I'll be representing DC Comics, Andrew Bennett. All right, let's get into the brief origin story time, shall we? Okay. I'm going to go with the old school original classic. So Andrew was a lord for Queen Elizabeth. And one day he was out to travel. And his girl at the time, the love of his life, Mary Seward, told him, I got a bad feeling about this. I don't think you should go. I think something terrible is going to happen, like you might die. And he's like, nonsense. You're a woman. You don't know what you're talking about. So he goes and he sets off, and then he gets surprisingly attacked by a vampire in the middle of the road. And then the vampire kills him, and then he comes back to life. And yeah, that's the brief origin story of Andrew Bennett. The tragic story. All right. Powers, abilities, and feats. Let's get into it, shall we? All right. Vampirism, obviously. Enhanced senses, enhanced vision, enhanced hearing, enhanced sense of smell, immortality, invulnerability, regeneration. What do you call it? Superhuman strength. This is the superhero cocktail. Superhuman strength, superhero speed, superhuman stamina, psychonesis, hyponesis, transformation, metamorphosis, claws, fangs, phasing, and of course, magic. Some of his impressive feats. Andrew has been resurrected from the dead and has returned with extremely powerful magic abilities. He has been seen displaying TK by sustaining individuals in the air, exploding the heads of two human beings with his mind, and with a click of his finger, magically regrew them and replaced all blood lost. That's crazy. He also displayed the ability to bring dead vampires back to life. When he performed this feat, he did so to an army of vampires at the same time who had been slain. It's crazy. And New 52 reality, vampires no longer are destroyed or killed by sunlight, and they're greatly weakened by it at this point. And for that feat is that he's not really that easily beat by sunlight. Might burn him a little, might weaken him a little, but it doesn't really kind of take him out completely. He has shape-shifting abilities, and this is where he shows. They have shown the ability to shape-shift in a greater extent than before, being able to become a variety of different forms, none of which are completely defined, as Andrew has been able to create a hybrid between a stereotypical vampire form. Vampires have also shown to be the ability to create clothes through shape-shifting abilities. He was able to create like a bat, rat, wolf hybrid. So that's an impressive feat in itself. All right, so let's talk about the end game on this one. Andrew Bennett has been around the block for a very long time. So being the fact that he's been around for a while, I do believe he has found a way to survive for that long period of time, which means he must obtain a vast amount of knowledge when it comes to fighting. So between him and Blade, I do believe there's slightly a tie to that fighting capability. I do believe they both would be in a stalemate in that way. But here's where I do believe Andrew Bennett has the upper advantage. He could turn into the hybrid. Werewolf / bat / rat thing, and that thing apparently makes him much stronger, stuff like that. So if he turned into that, he could toss Blade around like nobody's business. Blade's used to fighting vampires, but a crazy hybrid wolf rat vampire thing, I mean, that's going to be a little more harder than it sounds. Another thing is that sadly Andrew Bennett has magic in his side. Magic does come in handy. I mean, it's going to give you that little step, little pep in your step. He could toss him around. He could stop him from being able to take a attack at him. I mean, he could phase through his attacks if he wanted to. I mean, Andrew Bennett does have a lot of abilities. On top of that, I didn't know this before, but apparently Andrew Bennett is able to conjure weapons out of thin air. Okay, that is crazy. Okay, so that means he could conjure a weapon a blade that would match Blade's weapon. He could conjure a bigger weapon. He can conjure 2 axes. He can conjure a whole bunch of things that just keep coming out of nowhere and just keep putting Blade at a disadvantage. With the magic ability in his corner, I do believe that, I'm sorry to say, there's just not really a lot you can make as an argument, I want to say. I mean, yeah, Blade is an incredible fighter. He has also some pretty cool gadgets and weaponry in his possession, too. But I gotta say, the magic is just too much of an upper advantage because he could do a lot of things. He can make his things disappear. He could also try to hypnotize Blade if he wanted to. So I would think that Andrew needs to kind of put Blade out probably a little quickly, not giving Blade enough time because Blade will find a way. He's always found a way to defeat everybody. So I do believe giving him enough time to think about it, he would find a moment to take out Andrew, and he'll figure out how easy it would be. Like, he probably knows some of the things that the basic vampires get killed from, which sadly Andrew does have the same, somewhat similar of those weaknesses. So I would say use the magic for force fields, take maybe weapons away from him, try to hypnotize him, maybe do that. He could throw down with them, but I do believe that's going to be a stalemate. He could conjure weapons out of thin air and kind of put Blade at a disadvantage in that way, or turn into a hybrid creature werewolf thingy. At the end of the day, I do believe that Andrew Bennett's got just much more of an advantage than Blade has in this moment.
Okay, I will be representing Marvel's Blade. Now, Eric Brooks, also known as Blade, he has a pretty depressing backstory, man. It's pretty
I know.
bad.
I looked at it. It was, yeah.
There's a couple different versions of it, but I'm going to try to get through this one a little quickly. He was born inside a brothel. His mom was, severely infected with vampirism. She, as she was dying, she was giving birth, and
I think his name was Deacon Snow or something like that. I forget. Some doctor.
Yeah, the doctor who had just happened to be a vampire, and he also got his mother pregnant and I think he tried to eat him, or he tried to at least infect him with the vampirism. Anyway, after he was orphaned, he started showing signs of vampirism, and but he didn't have too many of the weaknesses. Eventually, he was found by someone named Abraham Whistler, and he's the one who told him how to control his abilities and taught him how to hunt. Now, going into his abilities and his feats, he has the superhero cocktail, obviously. Human vampire hybrid physiology. He has superhuman senses, strength, agility, stamina, and endurance. He has a regenerative healing factor, supernatural detection. He is a master martial artist, gifted intellect, marksmanship, multilingual. He's a skilled tactician. Fun fact, he's also resistant to other vampires and their bites.
Okay, that's pretty interesting.
One thing that's pretty obvious about Blade is he's a daywalker. They call him a daywalker. Meaning sunlight does not bother him at all. He can go out in sunlight and be completely fine. So that's going to be one advantage that he definitely has. He has ripped off a powerful vampire's head with one hand. Became king of all vampires. It is said that he is somewhat skilled in magic. He has some magic of his own, and if his potential continues to rise, especially within magic, it's said that he maybe be able to even somewhat rival the Sorcerer Supreme. That's a pretty high expectation. Now, I don't know exactly how high Andrew Bennett's skill in magic is, but Sorcerer Supreme is kind of number one. It's supreme for a reason, but just saying. Now, going into this fight, One weakness that Blade does have that the rest of the vampires do have is his thirst. Like, he does still crave blood, so he does have that one weakness. He's experimented with serums and everything, such and such, like in the movies, to kind of kill that craving, but it's still kind of there. Now, going into the end game, obviously, he's going to have to bring Andrew Bennett into sunlight. I do believe Blade has some resistance towards magic. So if he can try to resist that, keep him out into the open, out in direct sunlight, then just try to keep the fight going as long as possible. Blade is going to have to make this fight. He's going to have to keep his slight distance because the partly human physiology, I want to say, would give Andrew Bennett an advantage as far as strength and speed. I want to say maybe he's slightly stronger and faster, given that he's a full-blown vampire, and Blade is kind of only half. I mean, really, the only advantage he would have over Andrew is that he can walk in the sunlight. And as you said, Andrew Bennett doesn't really die right away, but I'm pretty sure it does affect him.
Yeah, it weakens him.
It weakens him. Now, if you're weak in a weakened state against Blade, he's gonna come at you, and it's not gonna be good. Given his increased strength and speed and his weaponry, Blade has a variety of different, like his sword is specialized, I do believe, to be able to kill vampires. I believe it has some form of acid on it, which helps him cut through a little sooner. He has a bunch of different weapons: silver stakes, silver bullets, holy water, anything that is needed to kill a vampire in any way possible known to kill a vampire. Blade either has it, or he knows about it, or he knows how to do it. So, like I said, it's pretty short and sweet. Keep him out in the open, keep him in front of sunlight, use that sword, and Blade should eventually have this one in the bag.
Okay. All right. As always, No Press fam, it's not up to me. It's not up to my boy here. It's up to you guys. So, if you guys like my argument, you know what you can do? You can hashtag Andrew Bennett. And if you like my boy's argument, what can you do, brother?
Hashtag Blade.
All right, No Press fam. As always, really appreciate you guys. Catch you guys later. Peace.